Welcome to study session 14, immediate predecessors of modern international state system 4, the Peace of Westphalia. Introduction. In study 13, we discussed the 30 Years' War in Europe, waged over religious and constitutional issues in the Holy Roman Empire. That was when religion occupied an important political position and was the main subsystem of the then international society. In this study session, you will learn about the Peace of Westphalia, which ended the wars of religion in Europe and created the basis for the international state system. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Outline the background of the Peace of Westphalia. 2. Explain the Peace of Westphalia. State the provisions of the peace treaty. 3. Point out the effect of the peace treaty. Background to the Peace of Westphalia. The main obstacles to a general peace in Germany after 1635 were the ambitions of France and Sweden and changing military fortunes. Sweden wanted territorial and financial compensation, while France, under the Cardinals, envisaged something altogether more ambitious that involved a considerable reduction in both Spanish and Australian Habsburg power. In addition, matters were complicated by the individual ambitions of various Germany Take Two and separate negotiations between the Spanish and the Dutch. Despite these problems, negotiations had been discussed since 1641. Both sides stalled for time, insisting on endless discussion of legal trivialities in the hope that the fortunes of the war would improve their bargaining position. The Peace of Westphalia. The Peace of Westphalia has been described as a model of how to deal successfully with deep religious disagreements on a constitutional plane. It contained constitutional norms for the Holy Roman Empire as well as international legal norms for Europe. On 24th October 1648, two treaties were signed in Westphalia that ended the 30 Years' War, one between the Holy Roman Empire and Sweden at Osnabrück, the other between the Empire and France at Münster. The treaties had been negotiated since 1644, while the various delegations of the Empire, Sweden, France, Spain, and the Netherlands first convened, with the Spaniards, the Dutch, and the French assigned to Münster and Sweden to Osnabrück. The major provisions of the peace treaties. The peace negotiations led to the two treaties known as the Peace of Westphalia, and they had major consequences on the subsequent character of relations between states. The outcomes of the treaties include the following. 1. The treaties declared papal authority no longer extended into the realm of the sovereigns on secular issues. 2. The treaties held that the members of the Holy Roman Empire were free to make alliances with other states so long as they were not directed against the emperor. 3. The emperor was prohibited from molesting, that is, interfering in international affairs of the empire's member. 4. The treaties guaranteed some rights for religious minorities, and following these principles implied that sovereigns could no longer become involved in the religious issues of other states. 5. The treaties helped to entrench several major principles that came to serve as the legal foundation for sovereignty and the relations between sovereigns. Consequences of the treaties. 1. Westphalia marked the transition from a system of overlapping feudal loyalties towards a system incorporating the principle of sovereignty. 2. It consolidated and popularized the authority of the nation states, independent of the Holy Roman Empire, as it enshrined the state as the sole form of authority in Europe that neither the Holy Roman Empire nor the Pope could challenge. 3. It gave rise to the emergence of the international state system. Study session summary. In this study session, you learned that 1. The Peace of Westphalia has been described as a model of how to deal successfully with deep religious disagreements on a constitutional plane. The treaties had been negotiated since 1644 up till October 24, 1648, when 2 treaties were signed in Westphalia that ended the 30 Years' War, one between the Holy Roman Empire and Sweden at Osnabrück, the other between the Empire and France at Münster. 2. The treaties declared papal authority no longer extended into the realms of the sovereigns on secular issues, and that the members of the Holy Roman Empire were free to make alliances with other states. 3. It gave rise to the emergence of the international state system. This is the end of study session 14. Thank you for listening.